Sawadee good morning. Welcome to Newsline, coming live to you on NBT, Radio Thailand, FM 88, and also NBT World. It's Wednesday's edition, October 15th, and you're with me, Cholapansa Narula. All right, let's have a look at today's headlines in Thailand Moves Forward section. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha is set to attend the 10th Asia-Europe meeting, or ASEM, on October 16 till 17 in Milan, Italy. This year's ASEM, chaired by the European Union and hosted by Italy, features discussions on responsible partnership for sustainable growth and security under the three pillars of politics, economics, social, cultural, and educational development. Once every 2 years, 51 ASEM members, heads of state and the governments meet at the summit to set ASEM's priorities. These summits are held alternatively in Asia and Europe. The trip will mark the first trip General Prayut has made beyond the region as Prime Minister, giving him an opportunity to introduce himself to the international community and to declare his vision on connectivity within the region and between regions, support for connectivity in economics with an emphasis on lessening obstacles of trade and investments among ASEM member countries. Prime Minister General Prayut will also declare Thailand's stance on world issues, including the fight against Islamic State and the spread of Ebola epidemic. The Premier said he would reaffirm Thailand's commitment to continue its participation in international partnerships despite undergoing its own international reforms. In addition, Thailand is set to receive the role as the next ASEM country coordinator in August of 2015. The Prime Minister said he is confident that the inheritance tax law will soon be passed in order to help narrow social gap in the society. General Prayut Chan-o-cha, the Prime Minister, told reporters after a cabinet meeting that he has instructed all ministries to come up with their own action plans in order for the cabinet to review, implement and follow up on the results. The Premier said that all action plans must be in accordance with the government's policies directed at 5 different groups of people in the Thai society, including the poorest, very poor, the middle class and the wealthy. Concerning the inheritance tax law, General Prayut said that the draft is in the preliminary stage of review before being presented to the cabinet and deliberation by the legislature later. The Prime Minister added that the planned law is intended to help solve the problem of social inequality while assuring that the inheritance tax law will soon come into effect through a just and transparent process. Deputy Speaker of the Prime Minister's Office, Major General Sansern Kaew-Kamnert, said after the weekly cabinet meeting that the meeting had endorsed in principle the ban on imports of e-cigarettes and tobacco products. The Department of Disease Control had earlier called attention to the rise in popularity of e-cigarettes and tobacco, also known as shisha, which is now widely available on the internet and at local markets. The DDC reported that the trendy products, dubbed as a healthier replacement for cigarettes, contain dangerous chemicals, including organic compounds such as propylene, glycol, and heavy metals. As such, the Department of Disease Control had asked the Department of Foreign Trade to consider placing such products under the list of banned products, that is, which is under the Export and Import of Goods Act BE 2522, to protect the health of the Thai people. The ban also applies to fruit-flavored tobacco and aromatics, which are used to form smoke or vapor in such products. Public Health Minister Ratchathanawind disclosed after the weekly cabinet meeting that although Thailand faces a small chance of seeing an infection of the Ebola virus, the ministry and related agencies have taken precautions to prevent any possible outbreaks within the kingdom. Meanwhile, WHO said the Ebola cases in West Africa will go over 9,000 this week as the epidemic is still expanding in Guinea, Sierra Leone and Liberia. Public Health Minister Ratchathanawind disclosed that the cabinet meeting approved the setting up of a special committee to prevent and control the Ebola outbreak. In addition, he said the ministry has been working closely with the World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control to stay updated on the matter. Mr. Ratchatar said that the Ministry of Public Health has been approved by the Cabinet to implement 5 preventive measures, including the setting up of a health monitoring system for both humans and animals, monitoring and separating patients in hospitals, preparing diagnostic tools and laboratories, educating the public, and preparing an integrated emergency plan with all relevant agencies. The Public Health Minister urged Thais to avoid travelling to countries which have reported cases of Ebola infections, and for Thais returning from such countries to seek medical attention within 21 days of arriving in the kingdom. He congratulated Sirirat Hospital for having made notable progress in the search for a vaccine against the deadly disease. He noted, however, that the drug still needed to pass many tests to prove its safety and effectiveness. Minister Ratchatar also warned the public against panicking over rumours of infected patients in the kingdom, while reassuring that the ministry would keep the public informed on the matter at all times. Meanwhile, the Department of Health Service Support has held a training session for private hospitals on how to detect and treat Ebola patients. Its objective is to be prepared for an outbreak, which is unlikely. The department said there are a few hospitals that fail to comply with the standard procedures when treating patients suspected of having Ebola. Although there is no report of patients with Ebola in Thailand, the Ministry of Public Health is taking no chances. Medical personnel in private hospitals in Bangkok have recently been trained on how to contain and detect the fatal disease. They have also been instructed to follow the standard protocols, which include abiding by the safety procedure if any patient is treated for Ebola in their hospital, monitoring the global outbreak, and identifying ways to prevent the spread once the patient has been admitted. People are encouraged to call hotline number 1442 to report to the Department of Disease Control if they run into anyone with suspicious symptoms. As for the situation in Africa, the World Health Organization said yesterday the number of Ebola cases in West Africa will go over 9,000 this week, and the epidemic is still expanding geographically in Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. The Assistant Director General, Bruce Aylward of WHO, said the death toll so far in the outbreak, first reported in Guinea in March, has reached 4,447 from a total of 8,914 cases. While there are signs of rates of infection slowing in some of the worst-hit areas, the Director General Aylward said that the disease has now reached more districts, counties and prefectures than it had a month ago, and said case numbers would continue to rise. He also stressed it would be really premature to read success into the apparent slowing numbers in some areas, adding that by the first week in December, WHO projections suggest there may be between 5,000 and 10,000 new cases a week. The UNHCR Thailand representative, Ms. Mirelle Girard, has applauded Thailand for regulating illegal immigrant workers from neighbouring countries, saying it showed a real attempt to prevent human trafficking. Ms. Girard made the comment when she made a courtesy call on General Thanasak Pratimapakon, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, to congratulate him on his new post and to follow up on the discussions the Deputy Prime Minister had previously with Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations, at the 69th UN General Assembly in New York. She cited the UN Secretary General as saying the UN considered Thailand a significant partner in the enhancement of sustainable development that was a primary mission of the UN. Mr. Sek Wanamethi, spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, said the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs and Ms. Girard had discussed the 2012 to 2016 UN operational plan, which had been adjusted to bring it into line with the 11th National Economic and Social Development Plan, as well as the active role of Thailand in sustainable development of the ASEAN and international community. The two also discussed the political situation in Thailand, about which Ms. Mirelle Girard expressed her understanding, while General Thanasak updated her on the successful appointment of the National Reform Council in accordance with the National Roadmap. The National Legislative Assembly is scheduled to deliberate the Anti-Graft Agency's recommendations to impeach former Senate and House Speakers on Friday. Spokesperson of the NLA Affairs Committee, Jade Siratharanon, said the committee has resolved to include in the impeachment motions against former Senate President Nikom Wairachatapanit and also former House Speaker Somsak Kietsuranon, the NLA's main meeting agenda on October 17th. Mr. Chait said that the NLA members will be first invited to debate to conclude if the Assembly is empowered to consider these impeachment recommendations submitted by the National Anti-Corruption Commission. He added that if the meeting resolves to do so, the deliberation of the motions will accordingly begin, otherwise they will be promptly dropped. In addition, he said it is expected that the NLA will be able to propose 5 of its members to sit in the Constitutional Drafting Committee, which will be in charge of the new constitution that will precede the next general election expected in late 2015. Chairman of the Thai Chamber of Commerce, or TCC, Kun Isara Wongkusonkit, and the Board of Trade of Thailand led a team of business people to observe Thai-Myanmar trade activities at the Ma Sot border crossing point in Tak province. The visit was for them to collect first-hand information for use in the consideration of a project that is to establish a special border economic zone between Thailand and Myanmar. The team on this occasion also visited Mayawadi's Chamber of Commerce and its one-stop service center. The Thai Chamber of Commerce is to hold Thai-Myanmar Trade Fair 2014 during the 15th till the 19th of October at OTOP Center in Ma Sot District, aiming to boost bilateral trade volume and economic cooperation between entrepreneurs of the two countries. Apart from the trade show, the fair also includes a discussion on the development of Thailand-Myanmar border economic zones, as well as a seminar entitled Turning Uncertainty into Opportunity, Thailand-Myanmar Border and Cross-Border Trade. Chiang Mai Zoo has been successful in breeding endangered wildlife species. Now, the latest addition to the Chiang Mai Zoo, after its successful attempt in breeding endangered species animals, is 3 baby small-clawed otters. Although their genders are still unidentified, they are all in healthy condition. This is the first time the zoo has welcomed new members of the small-clawed otters. The first otters were given to the zoo by local residents back in the past. Moreover, the zoo's macaque zone, a mother macaque, has for the first time revealed herself and her newborn baby to zoo visitors after keeping her baby close to her and out of sight for nearly 2 months. The Tourism Authority of Thailand, or TAT, is launching a new campaign to promote family-friendly destinations in the country in a bid to boost the economy. TAT Director of Product Promotion Patharapon Sithiwanit said, recognizing the importance of family units in the tourism sector, the body has decided to publish the Family Holiday Guidebook, which will be distributed to the public free of charge. The guidebook contains lists of attractions, activities and accommodation that are family-friendly and can be enjoyed by children and adults alike. With an aim to encourage families to travel more for leisure, the campaign will also promise to generate income for the local economy of family destinations. The book categorizes destinations into 7 types, which include learning centers, museums, zoos and restaurants. The TAT has already set up sample tours for 2 of the recommended tour routes in the book. They are Chonburi Sattahip District and Nakhon Ratchasema's Khao Yai. Family members can visit the Sea Turtles Conservation Center and scuba dive in Chonburi and can take an agro tour around the Thai-Danish dairy farm and join a walk rally in Khao Yai. The TAT hopes to also help foster strong bonds between family members through travel with the campaign. Strong family relationships have influence on the well-being of families and increase interactions between parents and children and help them connect on a deeper level. Between January and September, international arrivals at Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport were 9.1 million, down from 11.3 million in the same period last year, a 19% fall, according to the Immigration Police Bureau. The Bureau also reported that visitors from all regions, with the exception of Eastern Europe, had plunged between 5 and 30%. The TAT is preparing to launch another campaign called 24 Hours Enjoy Thailand to attract foreigners to visit the kingdom under martial law. According to the agency, martial law actually benefits tourism because it ensures that foreigners are safe round the clock. Thai education is about to change. What is the incoming change in methods of teaching and learning? Let's find out more with Kun Panot Sinsap.
Institute for the Promotion of Teaching Science and Technology, or IPST, is introducing STEM education to pilot schools under its supervision. The curriculum integrates the learning of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and demonstrates their place in real-world usage. It hopes the curriculum will benefit students in their future careers. IPST President Dr. Pornpan Waitayangkoon said that the STEM education approach in Thailand was initiated by IPST as a means for all Thais to have a basic knowledge of science, mathematics, technology, and engineering at a level useful in their daily lives and of use as a knowledge base in their future careers. STEM education can also be used to teach children at all levels, from kindergarten through to high school. The curriculum fosters better analytical and problem-solving skills, which is a vital preparation for their later working lives.
ในแต่ละชั้นเรียนในแต่ละปีที่ผ่านไปนักเรียนจะได้มีประสบการณ์ในการเรียนรู้แบบบูรณาการตั้งแต่ประถมม.ต้นม.ปลายถ้าทำไปเรื่อยๆอย่างสม่ำเสมอจนเป็นเหมือนธรรมชาติของการจัดการเรียนการสอนของโรงเรียนแล้วเนี่ยเราก็มีความเชื่ออย่างน้อยที่สุดเด็กก็กล้าคิดเด็กก็กล้าทำเด็กก็สามารถที่จะมีวิธีการที่จะหาข้อมูลเพื่อตัดสินใจเพราะฉะนั้นการแก้ปัญหาต่างๆรับมือกับการเปลี่ยนแปลงของโลกที่ผ่านไปอย่างรวดเร็วก็จะไม่มีปัญหาอะไรเขาก็จะเป็นคนคุณภาพและสร้างชาติได้
The management plan will see a follow-up of outcomes so that schools reaching the required level will be selected as pilot schools. Currently, there are 13 STEM education centers monitoring 91 participating schools located nationwide, with pilot schools receiving constant feedback.
แผนที่เราทำเราก็คิดว่าในปี 58 เนี่ยเราก็จะโรงเรียนทั้ง 91 โรงนะฮะที่ connect อยู่กับศูนย์ภาค 13 ภาคเนี่ยก็จะจัดกิจกรรมในห้องเรียนคุณครูในโรงเรียนเหล่านั้นจะได้รับการพัฒนาแล้วเริ่มนำกิจกรรมใช้กับโรงเรียนจริงๆเรามองว่าภายใน 5 ปีข้างหน้าควรจะมีโรงเรียนไม่ต่ำกว่า10,000 โรงที่จะนำวิธีการและกิจกรรมการเรียนรู้ในรูปแบบ STEM ศึกษาไปใช้ในชั้นเรียนอย่างสนุกสนานแล้วก็เป็นธรรมชาติไม่รู้สึกว่าเป็นเรื่องยากหรือเป็นเรื่องที่จะต้องใช้เวลามันก็คือเข้ามาเติมเต็มกับการเรียนรู้ปกติเพื่อให้นักเรียนมองเห็นอนาคตข้างหน้า
Dr. Pornpan added that in the future, STEM education will expand. IPST has already designed a supporting process and a roadmap especially for the development of teachers, while organizing STEM education camps, inviting outstanding scientists to share their knowledge, and also coordinating with other organizations to share the future of a nation. I'm Bernard Stephensap, reporting.
Human resources is an important element to drive any economy. Today, Dr. Yongyut Mayalab, the government spokesperson, will talk about the development of Thailand's human resources. Here's now or never.
Welcome to Now or Never, the program that updates you on the achievements of the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO, and the work progress of the government. General Prayut Chan-o-cha, Prime Minister, presided over and gave an opening speech at an annual meeting of the Office of National Economic and Social Development Board, or NESDB, on human development for the future of Thailand. The meeting was attended by over 2,500 participants. The 2014 NESDB annual meeting was aimed to brainstorm on how to develop human resources for the future of Thailand. Results of the meeting will be incorporated in the 11th National Economic and Social Development Plan and will be used to determine strategies and the framework of the 12th National Economic and Social Development Plan in 2017. This is in order for national development plans to be formulated based on public consent and needs. In the Prime Minister's opening speech, it was emphasized that the underprivileged must first be the area of focus. This is highlighted by the fact that the 8th to the 11th National Economic and Social Development Plans all have given emphasis to people-centered development. In this case, the Prime Minister underscored that all sectors must help push forward the 11th National Economic and Social Development Plan into actual implementation so that tangible results can be achieved. Instead, His Majesty the King's principle of understanding, reaching out and development should be adopted. The country must be well immune to severe global changes and holistically developed under the concept of knowledge and morality based on public needs. The royal philosophy of sufficiency economy must also be upheld. For the big picture, the country should maintain its public debt at an appropriate rate of less than 60% of GDP. In relation to the 11th National Economic and Social Development Plan, 9 issues have been prioritized by the government. 1. Promotion of a just society. 2. Human development towards lifetime learning and a sustainable knowledge-based society. 3. Strengthening the agricultural sector, food security and energy security. 4. Economic restructure towards quality and sustainable growth. 5. International connectivity for economic security. 6. Sustainable management of natural resources and environment. 7. Restructure and improvement of state enterprises management for the true benefit of the public. 8. Improvement of telecommunication system and national technology for future sustainability and security. And 9. Anti-corruption in a sustainable manner. สวัสดีครับ
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thailand to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 81st anniversary of Public Relations Department. Creative media for society and mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Let's end it with some lighter side of things. A hoard of Viking gold and silver artifacts dating back over 1,000 years has been discovered by a treasure hunter with a metal detector in Scotland in a find hailed by experts as one of the country's most significant. Derek McLennan, a retired businessman, uncovered the 100 items in a field in Dumfriesshire, southwest Scotland in September. Amongst the objects is a solid silver cross thought to date from the 9th or 10th century, a silver pot of West European origin, which is likely to have already been 100 years old when it was buried, and several gold objects as well. The Viking hoard is McLennan's second significant contribution to Scotland's understanding of its past. Last year, he and a friend unearthed around 300 medieval coins in the same area of Scotland. The Vikings of Scandinavian origin made successive raids on Britain from the 8th to the 11th centuries, burying their valuables for safekeeping, which have gradually been discovered by generations of treasure seekers. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. Thank you very much for joining us. So let's end the program today taking you to Chiang Khan district of Loei province to enjoy the beautiful scenery. I'm Chalapansana Rula. Have a pleasant day. Sawasdee ka.